This is insane. Look at this, guys.
That's right. The garage door, dude, 8 feet off the ground. Oh, we got plugs though too, don't worry. We got plugs.
It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that.
Everyone thinks brand new means better, but in 2025, that couldn't be further from the truth. These so-called modern homes are going up faster than ever and falling apart just as fast. Cheap materials, rushed crews, corners cut everywhere, from crooked walls to leaky roofs to things breaking before you even move in. New construction isn't built to last anymore, it's built to sell. And by the way, I'll also be featuring some of your comments in today's video, so if you want to be featured in the next video, definitely make sure to leave one down below. Super quick, guys, before we get into the video, because it's the holiday season, I'm doing a $200 cash giveaway. There will be one winner and it's completely free to enter. All you need to do is hit the link in the description of today's video. Now, subscribing doesn't increase your chances of winning, but it will keep you informed when I pick the winner at the end of the month. And if I pick you and there's no response, then I'm gonna have to give it to somebody else. Happy holidays, everybody, and good luck.
This is insane. Look at this, guys. Check this out.
I just walked in this new build, walked in the garage, and look at this. That's right. The garage door is like, dude, 8 feet off the ground. Oh, we got plugs though too, don't worry. We got plugs that you gotta
Be an absolute mammoth. I'm 6'1", and I'm fully extended.
When would this ever make sense to put the outlets 9 feet high in the air? My general contractors out there, my builders, I understand why they did it, because it's easier to just put it in the drywall and not move it down into concrete. You might not even be allowed to do it that way, but why in any way during the planning would this make sense and be reasonable to put up this way? Oh, I've lost all faith in humanity.
Arm fully extended to use that. Look at this. This is the door seal.
Unreal.
It's taller than me. This is absolute insanity, dude. And it's what's crazy is it's a normal size garage. See, normal size garage. So your options are stairs that come down that wall and you only have one spot for a car, or stairs that come down that wall and you have to have a really short car because it's still the same size garage. That is insanity, guys.
If you thought it was just
It's
in that
every-
one house, absolutely not. It's in every single one of these houses, man. Golly.
Why do I feel like this could have been done more efficiently? Now, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here, trying to look at the bright side of things. And because I'm into cars, that would be real nice, because now I can probably fit a full-size lift in my garage without having to do any renovations to it. But it's a normal-sized garage. So how are you going to get up there? You now only have space for one car. Once you put stairs leading up to that, and it's going to be pitched, pretty steep, unless you're going to have a ladder or something. If Minecraft has taught me anything, it's that if you don't have room for a staircase, just put a ladder there. Yeah, that's the only thing that seems to make sense here. There must be an easier way to do this. And part of me believes that the only reason it was done this way for all the houses is just sheer laziness. There's plenty of houses built on a slope. I would think it would be a bit easier to construct it maybe, I don't know, into the hill or something than to do this laziness. It just doesn't make sense to me why you would put that out on the blueprints and go, yeah, that works. Someone will buy it. Unreal. This screams DR Horton Homes. Guys, if you're new to the channel here, we have made several videos on new construction insanity. This is part of a series we do here. If you're not already subscribed, I highly recommend you do by clicking that little shiny subscribe button in red for the holidays. And that reminds me, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. And if you're coming into this series late, then I highly recommend you check out my previous videos on new construction insanity, because this isn't the first time and probably not going to be the last time I hear somebody bringing up DR Horton Homes. Clearly, this is meant to have rock climbing handles for indoor recreation. Yeah, that's probably the only way this would make any sense.
Hello, Mr. George.
Wood framed
How much
apartments
you
in
pay for
Florida
the-
rotting
for the
out
new
before
guy?
they even open.
$20? No, too much money. It's no good.
You know, for a split second, I thought that was somebody videotaping the current apartment complex I live in Florida, because I have seen this so many times, pretty much every year. I live in a new construction apartment, a fairly new. It's probably like 4-ish years old now, and I've been living here for a little over 3 years now, I believe. And what I have seen is nearly every year is some sort of construction workers on some area of this apartment complex knocking down the walls to remove the mold, the black mold that is constantly forming in this new construction apartment complex. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if my current unit has it.
Conozco tu secreto, tu sucio, sucio secretito. Conozco tu secreto, tu sucio secretito.
You know what's so wrong about this is you could have the best home inspection done. You could hire the most elite group of home inspectors. There's no way you're going to catch this. There's no way you're going to know unless it was recorded like this. We are hammering in screws that are holding up pretty much the frame of the house and the roof. And I almost guarantee you this happens more times than not. And it goes right past most people. They don't care. They don't care at all. He's there for income, not outcome. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He's there for the income, not the outcome. And that's why I'm really curious to see how these homes are going to stand up in about 10 plus years. And if I'm still doing YouTube, which I still plan to do, we're going to have to come back and check out these new construction homes built in 2025 and see how they're standing. A $2 million house, by the way. Yep. I'd rather have 2 Johns than 20 Juans. They said it, not me. It would be less work to just do it the right way. It probably would. This is just sheer laziness, or the fact that most of these contractors are not given tools. They have to go out and buy them themselves. And obviously a hammer is a heck of a lot cheaper than a Milwaukee impact driver. I hate builders who hire people like this. I hate the supervisor who allowed this even more. And that's what I'm saying. There must be some level of inspection, like a minimum threshold or requirement for this work to go on. But the fact that it's being recorded and it's definitely not going to get fixed is just insane to me. He's probably splitting the wood, or those screws eventually are going to back themselves out because they're not inserted correctly. For any of you general contractors out there, please let me know down in the comments below what would be the worst case scenario for doing something like this. What would be the outcome? All right, quick pause, because this video is sponsored by Trust and Will, and I want to talk about something that most of us avoid thinking about. And just to be clear, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just sharing my own experience using them. Here's the thing. Estate planning sounds like one of those I'll deal with it later tasks until life happens and suddenly you wish you had everything in place. And I recently learned that 83% of Americans say estate planning is important, but only 31% actually have a will. That's wild. What I really like about Trust and Will is that they make this whole process feel way less intimidating. It's modern, digital, and designed by attorneys, but it doesn't feel like you need a law degree to understand what you're doing. It's basically a simple, guided way to protect the people and pets you care about. And honestly, it's for every stage of life. Getting married, having a kid, buying a home, taking care of aging parents. These are exactly the moments where you should have your estate planning together, and Trust and Will makes that super approachable. They offer 2 main plans depending on where you're at. A will-based plan, which starts at $199, and it's great for newlyweds, parents, or even pet parents. You can set guardianship for kids or pets, lay out asset distribution, and set healthcare directives and even power of attorneys. And you can update it whenever life changes. I've heard of so many stories of people passing away without any kind of will in place, and it leaves their family dealing with an extremely long, stressful legal process, sometimes even for years. Not having a plan can create confusion and unnecessary complications, so don't let that happen to you. And then there's also their trust-based plan, starting at $499, and this one is ideal for homeowners or anyone thinking long-term. It can help you avoid probate, transfer your home efficiently, and maintain more privacy, all depending on your state. But the part that really stuck with me, almost 1 in 5 Americans feel they won't leave anything meaningful behind. And at the same time, financial anxiety is going up. Estate planning doesn't magically solve everything, but it does give you clarity, and peace of mind is honestly priceless. So if you've been putting this off, which most people do, Trust and Will makes it incredibly simple to finally check this off your list and protect the people you love. Again, big thanks to Trust and Will for sponsoring this video. And again, this isn't legal advice, just my personal experience with a tool that makes a really important task feel actually manageable. Otherwise, let's get back into the insanity.
If you ever wonder what it would be like to live in a tiny home, check out the Henley
What the
by
heck?
Lennar Homes here in Princeton, Texas. As soon as you step in, you're greeted by open and bright spaces. You got your full kitchen with full stainless steel appliances. There's a nook under the stairs, perfect for a coffee bar. On the main level, you have your bedroom with your fully equipped bathroom. Also in the back here, you can put your washer and dryer. You can see the bedroom has everything you could possibly need. As we make our way upstairs, we get another look at the kitchen and the dining area. Here we're going up the stairs and we'll find a loft space, perfect for a couch, living area. And here in the back, we have an office space for you to do your work. Also in the second level is a full bathroom in case you have visitors over and you don't want them to use your main bathroom. You can see it has everything they could possibly
That is
need.
very
Shower,
tiny
your
shower.
water heater. And this is your fully fenced backyard.
Can that even be called a backyard? Honestly, I just feel so disrespected seeing houses like this. It's like they are trying to convince us that this is normal and that this is okay and that they're not trying to maximize profits for their own best interests. No, they're trying to build you your starter home, your entry-level family home where you're going to start your new family in. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. I just feel so insulted by it that these real estate agents are trying to pass it off like this is new, modern, luxury living. And God forbid we find out what the price is of that. $350,000. Even if it was $150,000, I'd still be insulted. But here's the thing. Like, it's not a bad idea. I am for tiny homes. I think it's cool, and I wouldn't mind it as much if I didn't have neighbors 3 feet to my left and 3 feet to my right. Like, if that was plopped on, I don't know, an acre of land, a half acre of land, I'd be like, you know what? This is okay. This is fine. You know, for people that don't need a lot of stuff, I get it. But the fact that it is one next to the other, it's like some sort of freaky dystopia. That's what it feels like to me. Anyways, I wanted to read a couple of comments that you guys had left on previous New Construction Insanity episodes. And if you want to be featured in the next episode, definitely make sure to drop a comment down below. My mobile home is stronger than some of these homes at this point. Honestly, I totally agree. Looking at how new homes are constructed, the amount of corners being cut, the sheer laziness that has gone into building these homes, it's just a safety hazard at this point to buy these. People think buying a new home or a new anything today is considered, safe, reliable, that it's going to last. Nope. At this point, you're better off buying something from 20, 30 years ago that's, withstood the test of time, that people have lived in. All the kinks have been worked out. You'll probably end up saving a lot more money than buying these new ones. And then after a year or two, every single thing starts breaking and falling apart.
It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that.
It's backing up into the shower.
It's not supposed to do that.
Oh, what could go wrong? A live wire left out
supposed to
on
do
the
that.
ground. You're going to tell, and I bet you this is a $2 million house. I bet you. You're going to tell me right now, corners weren't cut. Look at that. Who put that together and said, oh yeah, this is craftsmanship. I really love my job. I'm going to do, the right thing and really put time and effort into this. He just drilled a hole through the siding and ran a wire through it, exposed. Do you see it? The wire then goes up and underneath the siding and it's exposed. Unbelievable.
It's not supposed to do that.
That's literally every single door in my apartment.
It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that.
At this rate, I feel like I could build a house. Honestly, even if you never built anything in your entire life, you'd probably do a better job than half these people. Than 90% of the new construction homes being built in 2025. It is absolutely ridiculous. Live wire on dry grass. What could go wrong? Fire, maybe? I don't know. The way my jaw dropped when you picked up the wire and it beeped live. Going out on a limb and guessing this is new construction, how'd you know? Where did they hire the, don't you need, any sort of credentials or anything to build these homes? Or are they seriously just picking random people up off the street, handing them a hard hat and a hammer and saying, go figure it out on the job? Because that's honestly what it feels like. That is what it feels like nowadays. This is sick. Where are all the trees? I really want to know. I really don't get it. And I'm only 27 years old, so I haven't been around long enough to know this, but I'm asking you guys, those that have been in the industry for long enough, I want to know, back in the day when they were building or getting ready to build new places to put homes, a new block, did they just clear everything flat and then plant trees? Or how did it work? Because it's just so dystopian to see new construction homes and new construction blocks being created, and it is completely flat all around. Not a single tree in sight. Everything is mowed down. It is so disturbing. When I plan on buying a house, if and when that time ever comes, I am never going into a new construction area unless they leave up mature trees. And apparently, I'm not the only one. Anyone else think of A Wrinkle in Time? I don't even know what that is. Maybe that's an old movie. These houses scare me. Same style and floor plan. No trees, no space, baking in the sun. It just scares me. Cat in the Hat neighborhood. Yep, that's what this specifically reminds me of some freaky dystopia where everyone's programmed and hardwired to do the exact same thing. And that is what the houses look like on the block. Not a single tree in sight. Seriously, it just is freaky. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Remember when we were growing up and they told us that communism removes all individuality? Don't get me wrong. I'm here for a low maintenance, low restricted HOA, just to have some rule or some order. This way your neighbor doesn't paint his house pink and park 37 tractor trailers and broken, destroyed cars on his front lawn. I'd rather not have my neighbor be in control of my home value. If my home is going to drop $60,000 because of my neighbor's choices, we have a problem. So I'm all for some town rules or a low maintenance HOA, but this is just too much. So pressed wood is literally pressed wood. Wow. Oh my gosh. So for my carpenters out there, what do we think of plywood? What do we think of OSB? And what do we think of real timber cut and milled from a tree? One is glue and wood chips, and the other one is a real tree. I know we have different layers. One might have a couple, and back in the day, it used to have 100 rings. That used to be supposedly a stronger wood. But my question to you is one really crappier than the other? That's what I'd like to know. Wait till you hear about mashed potatoes. Wait till you hear about onion rings. So a tree would be depressed wood. So the reason I threw this in here and brought it up is because in previous new construction videos, in my mind, I always thought that OSB and maybe plywood, but definitely OSB, that was my focus, is just cutting corners and it's just cheap, lower grade material. It's basically the scraps of wood, the sawdust and whatever, grounded up, mixed in with glue, and then pressed, and that's it. So in my mind, like if you had the two options, wouldn't you rather choose real hardwood or real wood, real timber than OSB? Maybe I'm wrong here, but in my mind, I think it's just we're doing it because it's cheaper, not because it's a better material.
What in the world are these new construction homes? What's happening? What's happening? I may or may not have been requested to knock it on the roof because the builders are starting to try to stop home inspectors from getting on the roof.
Interesting.
But just look, just wait. Like look at this. This nail's not even all the way. This is a leak. I mean, I was going to start by talking about how there's literally hundreds of nails on the roof. But we have bigger fish to fry. Check this out. What in the actual
What did he
crap
step on it?
is this? This home is a very expensive home. The off-bridge vent is completely smashed. And look at that sealant job.
See, I just don't understand why nobody cares at all. This is the quality and the craftsmanship you get. The bar is so freaking low that you could probably do it better yourself with zero experience.
Exposed nail. Exposed nail also not hammered in. Look at this crap. Like they literally glued a bag. Not glued, but the tar sealed this bag under the shingle, and then it looks like they tried to pick it up and ripped the shingle, and then just left it. Damaged shingle. Exposed nail. Exposed nail. Exposed nail. Exposed nail. And this is a luxury home. I guess what I don't understand is that we're all held to a very high standard in the trades.
Are they?
Home inspectors included. This is like the fourth house I've inspected this week with the same problem. We're documenting what we're seeing. I mean, this is what we're seeing. I can't say who, but I mean, can you imagine how much this house costs? I mean, we could still get into some other stuff too, you know.
Luxury.
But it's really...
Oh my, the roof's cracking.
It's really the roof that's throwing me. Because, like, that's so important. Like, a roof leak will cause tons of damage. And there's just all these nails. And then they're telling inspectors, we're not allowed to get on the roof. So who's going to find this stuff if they're not checking their own stuff? Rant over.
The funny thing is every single new construction home that's being built, maybe since the pandemic, they just slap the word luxury on it and then mark the house up another $300,000 for the luxury tax that comes along with it here. And it's crap. No offense. I'm not trying to start anything here. It's junk. It's crap. What would a non-luxury house look like in 2025? Can we build a couple of those? I'm very curious to see what that would look like if this, for $2 million, is considered luxury. I wouldn't touch a house that wasn't built in the 90s or earlier. Everything built in the last 20 years is total garbage. And the reason people are commenting this is because in the last video, I had asked people, what's the cutoff? When should you stop buying a house? I'm looking for a house, hopefully in the next couple of years, buying one. And I need to know, what houses should I avoid? What's the years that we are staying away from? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. So tired of literally everything being an effing ripoff and everybody trying to scam each other and nothing being done about it. Every single industry. What happened to this world? Say that again, because it's not just new construction. It's not just homes. You have to have your home be built by a private builder and just micromanage and watch it to a T. And it'll probably come out a heck of a lot better than these things just getting thrown up generally speaking. New cars are horrible. I don't know how many videos we have to make on that. If you guys don't know, I have another series where we talk about new cars are absolutely ridiculous. They're horrible. They're meant to break. And it doesn't get any better. Even then, the craftsmanship and the quality of work from just hiring what you would think is professionals is terrible. It's a fortune. And the work is junk. I'd be better off doing it myself. I am so naive. It's crazy. I used to think that the reason you would go out of your way to pay someone in their own profession is because they're going to give you a higher quality work than if you did it yourself. Anything you do, if you're getting any sort of renovation done or work, make sure you videotape and record everything prior to them starting it, because people will deny ever causing damage when they know they did it. Same thing goes with dealerships. I've gotten shoddy work done at a dealership. You'd think that you're going to pay the dealer tax and get better quality work, and they still cut corners, and things are still done junk. So if you want it done right, do it yourself at this point.
What are the pipes used in your home plumbing made of? Well, they're probably plastic, but I'm not here to get you all depressed about your plumbing. I'm here to tell you what you can do about it. Okay. Most often, you don't have a say in what's used to plumb your house. But I do get the question a lot, is my plastic home plumbing safe? So here's the skinny. Most new homes use PEX, P-E-X. It's flexible plastic hose made of cross-linked HDPE, that's high-density polyethylene, a resin that's generally not a big problem for leaching chemicals into water, but the cross-linking process added some complications. Researchers looked at 8 brands of PEX pipes and tested for chemical contamination leaching out of the pipes into the water, not just after initial installation, but over the lifetime of the pipes. And what they found was, it's true that most of the exposure and the health risk comes from residue on the pipes from the factory and is highest in the first few months of use. But for some PEX brands, chemicals leached out over the lifetime of the pipe. Some cause cancer. They identified 62 different chemicals that leached from the pipes.
What else?
Some of them
new?
had no existing health data. That's a little concerning.
No health
What should
data.
you do if your house has PEX plumbing? Well, you can't exactly rip out all the pipes out of your walls, but here's what you can do. You could flush the lines before drinking after a new install or any time you've been away for a while, but because it's been demonstrated that PEX pipes release toxins over their lifetime, your only logical means of protection is to filter your water at the point where it leaves the PEX pipes and right before it goes into your mouth. That usually means at the kitchen sink. And you'll want to use a filtration system using reverse osmosis, but make
sure
sure your
that's not
system
cheap.
includes an activated charcoal.
We can't have anything nice anymore, guys. Let me guess. I know nothing about construction, general contractors, but let me guess. The main reason, we all know, the main motive why we went from copper to PEX is because it's cheaper. Not because it's more efficient. I mean, some people swear by it. I understand there are some benefits to using plastic piping over copper, leaking, yada, yada, yada. But let's not kid ourselves. The main reason why we're using this is because it's cheaper. So for my general contractors out there, if, let's say, I said I would build you a house completely free and you had free reign to choose whatever it is you would want the house be made out of, the best, most reliable way, let me know down in the comments below, what would you choose? What would be your choice of materials to use? I would probably think most people would lean towards copper, then PEX plastic piping. But let me know down in the comments below. This also applies to everything. What wood would you use? What windows? What tiles? What roofing? I want to hear it all. $700,000 leaking through the window. Rot. Oh my gosh. Is every window installed bad? Every single window is leaking. Is this the quality in the manufacturing of the window, or is this just poor installation? Again, for my contractors out there, please answer these questions. Wow, got windows? Oh my gosh. Who needs your front door or back door to be locked? Cracks in the foundation. How do you fix that? How do you fix that? And they installed it anyway. That doesn't look too bad, though. One wrong step and you're going through the floor. This is with everything being built. There's no passion for what is being built. Everything has to be done fast and cheap. This is why I made an episode on planned obsolescence and that everything is being built to break nowadays. Highly recommend you check that video out if you haven't already. I want to buy because I'm sick of dealing with maintenance and people doing things wrong. This is what I said in my previous video, and now it's coming back to bite me in the ass. My brother in Christ, this does not end when you purchase a house. It actually gets worse and even more stressful because of how much it's costing you. I agree, but the incompetence of the maintenance crew, that is a revolving door of new people all the time that don't know anything about maintenance, yet they're the general maintenance guy here. It makes no sense. They don't know anything. They're learning while they do it. I think I'd have a better chance of figuring it out and doing it correctly myself. And that's why I'm asking you guys what year of house to avoid, because I bet you there are some much better quality builds out there that don't really involve that much maintenance and upkeep. Of course, any house is going to have its own fair share of maintenance and fixing things, but still, I'd rather it be done by me. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. Let me know what you guys think. I asked you a ton of questions, and I really want to hear from you. Those that are homeowners out there, general contractors, builders, whatever the case may be, I want your opinions down in the comment section below. If you haven't already subscribed, highly recommend you do. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications. Merry Christmas, everybody. And if you haven't seen my previous episode on new construction, this year is horrendous. Definitely make sure to check it out right after this. Peace.